1. I started babysitting families in my church growing up. Between ages of 12 to 16, I babysit for over 30 families, and I was highly requested in that community. I knew everyone that attended that church since I was 4. Everyone knew me. I knew everyone, very tight-knit. So I babysit for a family we call the Smiths. I knew the Smith family since I was 10, and they had children that were younger than me. I helped with these kids for children's mass. I knew the family, and we were kind of close because I was one of the kids' helpers in the class unit. Plus, we all knew each other from church and school. Now, I was 13ish when this happened. I babysat for this family, and it was going good. They had a pool in their backyard, and the dad had told me to pack a bathing suit. He said, "The kids will probably beg you to swim with them if you don't mind, but you don't have to." So I babysat these kids for about 5 hours. And 4 hours if the husband came home to take a work call, and then he would help with the kids and my parents would take me home. 20 minutes before the dad gets home, the kids want to swim. I agree and we all get ready. I had chosen a normal bathing suit for a 13-year-old, but I had a larger chest than others of my age and the mom of these kids. Now the dad comes home and asks if things are all good, and I tell him yes, and he tells me he'll find us when he's done with his work call. It's about 5, and he comes out and asks to take another call. He asks to take a picture to send his wife to let her know I'll watch the kids for longer, since he had another call. All went well till the wife shows up. Everything goes good, the kids are having a blast. I help dry them off, help them shower and change as the wife gets ready to take over, and the husband had started making dinner. I was in my oversized shirt, bringing the kids downstairs when the wife signals to me. She pulls me aside and begins to shame me. She tells me I will not be getting paid from 4 to 5:45 for dressing like a slut in an attempt to stray her husband from her. That my choice of swimsuit was slutty, and she should have known better than to trust me. That I was a whore and that my boobs would get me nowhere in life, and I was going to be assaulted dressing like that. I was flabbergasted because I'm barely 13 at the time and I wasn't wearing a revealing swimsuit. I nod and profusely apologize because I wore this to the pool and never had any problems, and me and my bestie had matching ones. I was sobbing hysterically and took my money and sat on the porch waiting for my mom to pick me up. I hear yelling inside. The dad comes out, gives me $50, and goes back to yelling at his wife inside the house. They filed for divorce because she was having an affair with another guy. She later revealed this information to another family I babysat for, and they told me that the wife was insecure about her chest. Dad was not a creep, and his kids are doing great. 2. I'll mention I'm nowhere near rich, and I wasn't boasting about it. I actually had my necklaces tucked under my shirt, because I didn't want it swinging and bouncing around, smacking myself in the face, and for workplace roles. This happened years ago, and I'd just gotten back home before a community parade was about to start. It was going to walk down the street in front of my house. My family had started setting up lawn chairs and rugs to watch the parade. We had invited our relatives to come to our house, so they can also watch the parade too. It's time for the parade to reach us. It's a really hot summer day, and my parents make me and my siblings hand out popsicles to our cousins to cool down. No big deal, I grab a few popsicles and start going from cousin to cousin, and their parents, handing out ice cream. Some take the ice cream, while others say they don't mind, just getting a bottle of water is fine. I reach one of my aunts, and I'm reaching out with her ice cream. She noticed my necklaces and loudly says, "Oh, you're wearing 2 necklaces. Aren't you rich?" I'll mention she was wearing a full face of makeup, a gold necklace herself, several rings on her fingers and earrings, while I was wearing said necklaces, a plain black t-shirt, black jeans, sneakers, and no makeup or rings. Nothing that screamed, "I'm rich, look at me." I feel my face getting extremely hot out of embarrassment, because the necklaces weren't actually that expensive. One was just a dragon heartstone wrapped in wool string, and the second one was a blessed fake gold cross on a fake chain. I made sure to try to cover them with the cuff of my shirt, but each time I walked by her, she'd loudly point out that I'm wearing 2 necklaces and must have paid a lot of money for both of them. As the parade ends, she comes up to me and asks, So how much did you pay to get both your necklaces? 'Cause if you can afford it, you should be able to buy yourself a car to drive to work instead of forcing your parents to take you to work. I'm mad and pull out the necklace telling her, this one, the Dragonstone, isn't even made with metal and fairly cheap, while this one isn't even real gold, so stop acting like I'm rich. The aunt started acting like she's just cracking a joke and I shouldn't be taking it personally. She was my uncle's second wife on my dad's side of the family, and she didn't know anything about America until she married our uncle. Now she's acting like she's the smartest person in the world after learning English and getting her first job after about a year living in America. Didn't help that she went to my mom and told her I'm being rude to her before saying that I need to be nice to my elders. My mom refused to listen to me, even if she's the one that gave me the cross necklace, 'cause I was having bad nightmares, and she had our priest bless that same cross necklace to help me sleep better. It's been a few months, and the cross necklace and chain has broke, and I'm still wearing the Dragonheart stone. 3. So a bit of context. This happened about 4 years ago, and me and my friends wanted to go to a park just to hang out and have fun. All of the kids and parents in my neighborhood would go to the park as it's extremely close by and big. There was this certain double swing at the park where 2 people could just sit down, and it would act as a regular swing, except it would go very, very high. This was a very popular area at the park, so there was a long line of kids wanting to go on them, but me and my friend just patiently waited. So after waiting for about 10 or 20 minutes, me and my friend just got on and we started swinging. All was well for about a minute when all of a sudden I see a lady in my neighborhood march up to me with her kid. This will be the EM. At the time, I didn't know the lady too well, and she had recently moved in around 5 months prior, but I heard from some of my other friends at the time that she was pretty rude. So this is how the confrontation went down. Keep in mind this was a while ago, so some of the dialogue might be a little different to what actually happened, but it was overall a memorable event, so I remember most of what happened. "Excuse me and my son have been waiting here for 2 hours. Now can we get on, please? Thanks." No, sorry, we just got on. Also, we saw you cut all these kids, so I'm not sure why you're lying." "Well, that's true, but me and my son really want to get on. Thanks." "Yeah, no, you'll have to wait your turn as we literally got on like a minute ago." "Yeah, but still, you kids always come here, and it's like our first or second time being at this park." "If the kid you cut in front of is fine with you going after him, then sure, you can after we're done." "I can't wait that long, though. Please just let me have like 20 minutes on the swing. This is his first time, so please let us get on." "I said I'll let you go after me. Relax, but it won't take that long." "Just let us get on now or else." I started to get a little annoyed at this point. Okay, well, you can keep waiting because, like I said, we just got on. At this point, she's done with a nice act, and is full-on yelling at me, but then her friend, entitled Mother 2, entered the conversation. Keep in mind, her friend is at the other swings just pushing her kids back and forth, and has no business in this conversation. But I guess she heard what was going on. "It's fine, EM1. They just don't respect women in their culture, so don't mind them being rude." "What are you talking about? We're just on a swing. What does this have to do with culture?" "She means that the religion your parents or whoever taught you clearly doesn't support respecting women." I'm assuming she must have meant my mother wearing a hijab, which is a scarf that Muslim women wear at some point around the neighborhood and just doesn't like our religion. What the hell are you even saying? At this point, my friend is just telling me that we should let them onto the swing and not get into trouble. So we just sadly hand over the double swing and they start smirking at us leaving. "Thank you, and maybe from now on treat women with respect." Well, I treat everyone with respect till they start to become a massive asshole. This lady took that to heart. Now that I think about it, I should have just walked away or said, okay, whatever. "Excuse me? How dare you say that to me? I just wanted to teach you to respect women." "Boys like you are the problem with today's society." "I don't care." "Also, how dare you curse in front of these children like that?" "Okay, whatever, I'm sorry, can you please leave us alone now that we already gave you what you wanted?" "You caused the problem and started to harass us, so you leave us alone." "Okay, bye."
No, I'll not let you off the hook. Apologize for harassing me and my son.
They start to yell and scream, and by now the entire park was hearing what was happening. Now, somehow a different lady starts walking towards us too, who, by the way, has nothing to do with the situation, yet probably assumed we were some bad kids. Or something, not sure. She will be our random Karen. I'm not sure if you knew the entitled mothers or not. Hello, excuse me kids, I just read the rules of this park, and it says that only 5 to 12-year-olds are allowed on the playground, so if you two boys do not leave, I will be calling the cops. What? This is a public park. We sat down at a swing and you'll call the cops? Also, where are these rules that you mentioned? Please show them to me. And we already did what the lady asked us to do as well. What's the problem? Okay, fine, I'm calling the cops.
It serves you right for harassing me and my son.
Yeah, sure, I was harassing you. I'll just wait for the police. It's not like they'll do anything since I didn't break any rules. Also, who even are you to call the police on me? Did you not see the two random ladies yelling at me over a swing?
Trust me, I can see who's in the right and wrong, and I clearly see you've been disrespecting these adults.
By now, I get that arguing is getting me nowhere, so I'm just waiting for the cops to arrive and tell me I'm not breaking any rules. So about 20 minutes pass, and the cops arrive and start to question the entitled Mother 1, 2, and the random Karen. He comes to question me, but EM1 keeps shouting in the distance. Hey kids, so these ladies over here say that
He harassed me and my child, why do you need to question him?
Man, will you please quiet down? I'm only trying to understand the situation some more. EM1 angrily stays quiet, but she's still glaring at me. I proceed to tell the cop everything that happened. Okay. So it was nothing like what they told me. They were saying that you hit the ladies and that you broke into the playground, which to me sounded silly. Well, all that was lies, and they were really just mad at me for some reason. Yeah, I understand some people are just like that. The best thing to do is just walk away next time. And don't worry, they won't bother you anymore. The cop then asks some of the other nearby people just to confirm what was going on, and they thankfully said similar things to what I had told him. So he went back to the ladies and simply told them not to disturb us again, or else he would arrest them for harassing us kids. They had an incredible look of anger and embarrassment that the cop didn't believe their lies. We finally had gotten some peace at the park. Now that I'm writing this, I find it incredibly strange that 3 middle-aged women were yelling at a 12-year-old. I still see EM1 around the neighborhood to this day, and I've had some simple conversations with her over the years, but she still holds a grudge. 4. So I work as the host for a restaurant, and yesterday was Father's Day, so it was packed. I worked pretty much the entire day, woke up at 10 a.m. and clocked in at 12 p.m. I sat this family down at around 3 p.m. and didn't think much of it. About half an hour later, complaints were rolling in. The customers were trying to make substitutions with the combo meals, and that wasn't allowed except for certain items. It wasn't for some small combo either. It was worth $100+, and she kept trying to squeeze in expensive items to substitute the less expensive ones. When the restaurant emptied out a bit, the manager stopped by the front desk for a break and a chat. She started to complain about these customers who, 1, pretended they didn't get part of their combo when the busboy, chefs, and waitresses could confirm it was made and was sent to their table. 2, started holding the check and tip as hostage to fix the order. 3, returned over $40 worth of food after a bite because they were too full. I didn't really care too much, and I just took it as an interesting story because it didn't affect me. But it did leave a horrible impression. After the customers were done with everything, they sent their checks with 2 coupons. Our company policy around coupons is pretty strict, because it would only allow for a single coupon for each table to prevent customers splitting their orders and leaving a coupon in every single one of them. I took the $5 off, reprinted the receipt, and sent it back to the waitress. She comes back saying that the customer was complaining about how the second coupon wasn't used, when it clearly said 1 coupon for the table in the back. I was pretty grouchy and couldn't be bothered after 4 hours of sleep, so I just took off the price of the hush puppies they had and sent the receipt back. Card swiped, money paid, tips done. Customers leave, right? If only. A couple of minutes later, an old lady stomped back to the front with the poor waitress in tow, demanding to know why the second coupon, which said when ordering an entree you can enjoy a complimentary entree for free, up to $10 value, didn't take $10 off their order, but instead took $5.15. Technically, that was an invalid coupon because we didn't have any entrees below $10, and nowhere did it say it would take $10 off their check. I tried explaining that she didn't order any entrees below $10, so I just took off the hush puppies. She said, "But that says $10. I didn't really catch her point and just said, "And?" "So I should get $10 off." "No, the coupon gives you a free entree under $10, which you didn't order."
"Hello, can you read?"
She started waving her hands in front of my face, lifted the coupon close, underlined $10 with her nails, and said, $10, entree, hush puppies aren't entrees. This cycle goes on a couple of times, and our voices are slowly getting louder before she busts out the "then I want a refund" card. I gave up and decided to just give her $10 off. Worst comes to worst, I'll just pay out of my own pocket. There were customers waiting behind her, and I might as well get this over with. Just when I tell her fine, she took the opportunity to taunt with her daughter recording as backup.
"Hush puppies aren't an entree, they're appetizers. I should be getting $10 off my entree. Can you even read?"
She had this shit-eating smile on her face now. There were plenty of cards I could have played here, with the pettiest being the race card, realized that just now. But I just got angry and decided to argue. I won't lie, some of the stuff I said belonged to a fantasy novel with how cringe some of the lines were. I'm rolling around in bed with embarrassment while typing this. Here's how the convo roughly went. "You know what? I'm not giving you a discount."
"I want to see a manager."
"Well, congrats, you're speaking to the manager." I was pulling that out of my butt. And the final answer is no.
"You're obviously not, because I've already spoken to a manager. You shouldn't be working front desk with your attitude.
Good for you, but final answer is no." Our voices have been steadily rising at this point, and the actual manager walked in and tried to break us up. Then the funniest thing happened. Her daughter tried to gaslight me and directly lie to the manager, and maybe the audience for her TikTok or whatever.
"We've been polite all this time, but you've been standing here calling us stupid."
Matter of fact, I hated this girl more than her presumed mom. She's the textbook example of a gaslighter, and she's probably the inspiration for Key and Peele short about the person who always says, "awkward," all the way down to that dumb side smirk and how she makes you feel dumb when you've done nothing but defend your point. She kept gassing up her mom and played the perfect Karen-supporting role by trying to find any moral high ground or threats. She even tried to pit the waitress against me using the tip, saying that she might not get a tip because of me, a crisp $5 bill after an hour and a half of listening and adjusting their orders to their complaints. It ended with the manager caving in and giving them the discount, and they left happy and scot-free. I think I should have just held it in a bit better. Now I got a video of me floating around somewhere acting like a prick, and I have nothing gained. I felt super frustrated at the manager, but now I understand there was nothing she could do. People need to stop treating food industry workers like slaves. 5. I'm sure everyone has had this happen to them, where someone would suggest something, but don't tell you that they're only limited to 1 or 2 items, and you don't get one because if you ask for half, they'll make a half-ass excuse to victimize and make you feel and look bad. I shared a story a while back when my mom asked everyone if we wanted to order pizza, while we waited to watch the ball drop, and then targeted me expecting me to pay for it, which I clearly remarked that I'm not paying for it, because why should I when I hadn't suggested it first? Eventually she paid for it, but made me grab the food because she was cold and had just showered. So she couldn't grab the oily food, but still ate it 5 minutes later. But this story is different, and I wasn't able to do the same remark this time, because I didn't have much money and couldn't afford to get my own drink. Our mom had picked me up from work along with my brother in the car and decided that we would go do some quick shopping at a local Asian store not too far from our house. We just finished shopping when I pointed out that I wanted something special to drink, like boba tea, which I only drink rarely because it's only sold in Asian stores or random stores that sell it. Hey look, they're selling boba tea for $3.99. Oh, let's get some, says Mom. I had forgotten my card at home because earlier that day I had overslept a bit and grabbed the wrong work pants that didn't hold my card and cash. So I didn't have any money on me. As I'm looking at the flavors and after making a decision, I say which one I wanted. So I asked if Mom and my brother made their decisions yet. Just as we walked up to put in our order, our Mom suddenly says, "Oh, we can only get 2. Wait, what? Oh, I meant we can only get 2. I can't afford more than 2, Mom says. Then why didn't you say so before I picked which one I wanted? Well, you should have brought your card so you can pay for your own. Fine, I say, but next time don't come running to me when you can't afford to pay your own bills. Like you're paying for anything, you're lucky to even still be allowed to live under my roof. You better show me some respect, she says. I just give up and walked away, because I didn't want to argue with her anymore, or it'd end up with her dad later on lecturing me about discipline and respect towards my elders. My brother offered to let me have some of his drink, but our Mom started making a fuss that she doesn't deserve to have some, she's being so rude. Besides, she just said she doesn't want any, so keep it for yourself. I should have said something, but instead I started secretly drinking energy drinks when I'm not around home, because I need something to keep me awake and energize me enough to work or focus on what I'm handling. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to The Impractical Proudness of Parents, Ipop, episode 112. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Before you go, please do pop a like. Okay, let's see. Oh yes, if you'd like to get the videos a little bit early, then please do subscribe to my Patreon, where you can support the channel monetarily if you wish to do so. You can also buy Hellfreezer merchandise and make donations during videos and streams as a one-off tip. This is not required, but it is very much appreciated. All links in the description. Alrighty, let's see. Oh yes, I think this goes up on the 29th, so I do have a birthday shout out to do today. And today's shout out goes to Alex, who, we've got to do a bit of math here, they were born in 1976. I think that makes them 47, but don't quote me on that. I'm fairly sure it does. Okay, very happy birthday to you, Alex. And of course, I would be very happy to sing happy birthday to you. But whatever you're doing, please make sure you take time to pamper yourself and relax and get lots of treats and yummy things and tasty drinks, because you deserve it and we all do. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alex. Happy birthday to you. Alrighty, let's move right along to Hellfreezer's question of the day. And today's question is: have you ever in your life had a food stuff that you've disliked all your life, only to then at some point think, that doesn't look that bad, or maybe you give it a second chance decades later, and you think, that actually isn't as bad as I remember. In my case, Brussels sprouts, is fair to say. Hated them as a child, loathed them, and that continued as an adult. Then one day, I think I decided, I bought a bag of Brussels sprouts. I thought, okay, I'm going to try them roast. Something possessed me to do that. And I liked them, and I still like them. I've even had them done other ways than roasted now, and I like the flavour, but I guess your taste buds change as you get older. So I still like all the things I liked when I was younger, but I've come to learn that as my palate has changed, I appreciate some of the things I didn't like. You've heard me go on about how I don't like tomatoes on sandwiches because of the slimy part of like the seeds and all that. Sometimes I don't like that, but I do like the flavour. So if I can get like the end bits, or if it's tomatoes that don't have a lot of like seeds in them, that's actually quite yummy on a sandwich. And that's something I've come to appreciate as I got older too. So why don't you let me know in a comment below if there's any foodstuffs you've come to appreciate as you got older that you just didn't like when you were younger. Please leave your answer in a comment below. Okay, and with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.